Hello and welcome to the 94th episode of Redeeming the Time. I am your host, Jake Wells. This is my dad, my co-host, Keith Enrique Wells. And we have a special guest here with us. We just asked him 5 minutes ago, and he hopped on.
What's up, everybody? My name is Braxton Reinhardt.
We are happy to have him. He's only going to be with us for the first part of this, but he will be on a podcast in the future, I would say. So
Sure. I'd love to be.
We'll have him do his testimony and everything during that episode. Today, I just want to play a game.
Dude,
Okay,
yes.
to start us off.
I'm ready.
First of all, this was a great day. We're recording on a good day.
We're filming on Sunday because we're so ahead of the game. We're hours before this has to actually post, but it's just how we are in life.
We had an
right
ordination, so it was a good day.
Yeah, Josh's ordination, wonderful day, and had a bunch of young men here for the morning service. That's been great to see. Some of our football players over at Coleraine been coming. That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty cool. We got to meet. Rome brought two new guys today, so I got to meet them.
Cool.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Excellent.
All right, so we're going to play Guess Who? Mom, Dad, or both, because Callie had her baby shower on Saturday, so we had to fill out the answer key for one of the games. So you guys are going to either guess Mom, Callie, Dad, me, or both of us on these, okay? I will give you that there are 3 that are both. The rest,
told us.
I know.
It's pretty much split 50-50 the other way, okay? That's more information than
the ladies got.
Than anybody else got.
All right, here we go.
All right. Who had the feeling that Mom was pregnant first?
Mom?
Dad, what do you think?
Callie or Jacob think she was pregnant first?
Who had the feeling? Braxton says Callie. What do you say?
Oh, I'm going to say you.
No, it was Callie. Braxton's up 1-0.
Let's go.
We're keeping score.
Because she was puking. Okay, 1-0.
Who has cried more since finding out?
Both.
He says both.
You.
It was me.
It is me. So sweet.
See the difference here? See the difference of relationships? All right, so 1-1. Who weighed more when they were born?
You. Jacob.
She was a little baby. She was dinky. You.
Yeah, I don't know. Why were you thinking so long? I was fat.
Did you get it right, too?
Yeah.
All right, it's 2-2.
Let's go.
Who will change more diapers?
You.
Mom. So Callie. Mama Callie.
You both are wrong. We said both because if I'm there, I will change them. But she's gonna be with the baby.
Nursing classes. He worked in a nursing home and just did gross. Oh.
I couldn't imagine.
He'd come home and tell stories, and it'd be like, "This is disgusting."
All right, moving on. Who was more of a wild child?
You.
Jacob.
Has the word wild ever been associated with Callie ever? That's like, that is a given. Yeah, even keeled. Who will take more photos / videos?
Oh, boy.
Oh. Like.
Of the baby.
Oh, of the baby. Mama Callie.
Yeah, I'm going with Callie, too.
Yeah, I'm not a picture.
Do you have, how many pictures do you have on your phone?
You took half, like, with your trip, you took half of the pictures that I have since 2015.
That's crazy.
So
I've had like my phone for 3 years, and I think I have I'm nearing 10,000 photos.
I'm at 7,000.
Okay.
For his
from
whole
2015.
From 2015.
Since I've had an iPhone.
Whole decade.
Yeah.
4-4.
All right. Who is more worried about delivery?
Both.
Yeah, both. I'm going both there.
Callie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I trust doctors more than maybe I should.
Yeah, that and you don't have to go through that.
I also don't have to do it. Who will get up more with the baby during the night? I'm going to scratch this because this one is... where our plan is that I stay up late and then she gets up, like, I'll put her to bed, put the baby to bed.
Well thought through.
Because I can stay up.
Oh yeah.
You think I'm waking up?
Yeah,
You think I'm
5
waking up? There's another question that has to do with that. Who was ready to have kids first?
You. No. Her.
Wait.
She's been ready to have kids since
man.
she was 12. That
Callie.
sounds horrible.
No, she's just been a mother. Yeah. She's been a motherly.
I meant it that way.
Yeah.
That sounded terrible.
Moving on. Who says they will never drive a minivan?
Oh, you.
Jacob, yeah.
Both.
Oh, man.
She can't. You are right, but
Your
it's
sister's the same
But-
way.
they're the worst, man.
No, they're not. You can
No.
take friends
No,
and.
those doors you can get in
That's
another
horrible.
car that does the same thing.
Nah.
Yeah. I like to be able to, like, my cars, but.
Who will plan future family vacations?
Oh, man.
You.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah,
be.
you.
Better be.
Yeah,
you.
she doesn't plan that type of stuff. And I am my
Oh, so-
father's son.
Yeah. I don't mean that as bad that ladies do it. I meant, but that would have been a lost art in the family.
Yeah.
So.
It's not lost, dead. Who will be the homework helper? And I'm changing this from the baby shower because we discussed afterward.
Homework helper. I'm
Like,
gonna
who
say.
will help with homework?
I'm gonna say Callie.
Yeah. Go with Mama Callie.
I'll give you both points, but I think I'm going to be. Because
Oh.
Piper actually came up and said, really, the guy that likes teaching and the guy that likes people to have an aha moment, you're not going to help your kid do that? So it
That's
makes sense.
good thinking, Piper.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
Piper.
homeschooling and that guy. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Who wants more kids? Like, total.
Oh, what?
Who wants more kids?
Callie?
I'm going you.
It is me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
pulled ahead.
Take it.
8-7.
I always joke that I want to field a baseball team, but that's 7 kids.
Yeah, I
Nice.
get it.
But-
Perfection. 7 family.
We're probably not going to have that many, but
All right.
who will have a hospital bag packed first?
You.
Callie.
Ah.
Now,
Man.
there's a different way of looking at that. Cause,
No, there's not.
yeah, there is.
You're gonna
'Cause
be just grabbing stuff.
Exactly. I was just
That's
like, that
not-
was her thing. Like, yo, you're gonna pack everything in 5 minutes. It's gonna take me forever, but she's still gonna have it done before me. I'm gonna be packing stuff last minute because it's time to go. Who can sleep through baby cries?
Are you a light sleeper?
I'm saying you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm
you.
not like that's why I'm staying up because I'm not waking up. Who will buy more baby clothes?
Callie. I'm going Callie.
Me too.
You're not gonna make it fun. You're right. Who is more scared about the newborn stage?
Oh.
You.
Have we gone through all 3 boats or 4 boats?
Yeah.
Okay.
all 3
Yeah. Yeah, you.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I don't- I'm supposed to take care of this. I don't know
You
what
got
to
this,
do.
Wait,
Jacob.
hold him by the ears.
Yeah. All right, here's the tiebreaker. So
No, it's not. It's 10-12.
No,
Oh,
we're still
no.
doing it, and whoever gets this wins.
You're gonna find-
Make up the word. Make up the rules. What was the length of the parents at birth? So what was my length versus?
Oh, your mom asked me that the other day, and I even looked at her. I was like, I don't
Let's
know.
see.
Like,
just-
who's longer?
Who was taller, basically, at birth?
Callie.
Well, to make it, I think Callie too, but to make it, I'm gonna say you.
She was 1 inch. She was 1 inch longer than me. She was 22. I was
Yes.
21, but I was a whole pound heavier. And they were all in my cheeks.
Oh man.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I was born. I was like 9 pounds when I was born.
Yeah, you were 1 ounce heavier than me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
He had
Wow.
that size head at birth.
Yeah, it was big. Yeah, I had a
Like
melon on
toddler
me.
Imagine that.
Toddler clothes. It was like,
Come on, dude.
"Ah!"
It was good stuff. All right. Well, that was Guess Who, Mom, Dad, or Both. There were other
was so
things that
fun.
we were looking at that it was like. Okay, here's another question. Okay, before we go.
I'm ready.
All right, and then we'll let Braxton go.
He's got to take his brother and sister home.
Thanks for coming on, though.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
You'll
Thanks
be
for having me.
You'll be on again. We'll make it happen.
Yes.
So you already heard this question.
Okay.
So there was a like to the baby. I hope you get this. I hope you. I hope you. So the first two were I hope you get your mom's blank. I hope you get your dad's blank. Okay, what do you think? What do you think were those answers? I hope you get your mom's.
Hope you get your mom's eyes. I hope you get your dad's bald head.
Every teenager said that. They were like, I hope you get your dad's hair. Every teenager.
That's too
that was
easy.
there, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the real answers were Callie's hair, voice, and her sweet personality. And then mine was
If it's a girl.
and then mine was most like I think there was like 13, 14 that said sense of humor.
Okay,
like-
nice. Yeah.
So she gets sweet personality. I hope he makes you laugh. So,
Oh man.
but, all right, Braxton.
So
thanks
fun.
for.
All right, man.
Yes. Thank
Good
you
to
so much
see
for
you. Oh, we
having
didn't
me.
pop.
Yeah, that was
There
so
you
fun.
Oh,
we had a little
they
pop
got
up. Maybe
the
you
pop.
heard that on the thing, but
He's such a good time. It's a
He's the best.
yeah. Everyone knows Braxton, which is a good thing. All right, so we are going to go into our series Revelation. I want to first thank everybody for the kind comments on this. I don't know if you've gotten any, but just the people are looking forward to going through it like this.
Oh,
with
good.
some guidance, with an open like where
Yeah.
do I go? Like
Sure.
I was not alone, I should say, in the intimidation of this book. And so as I've started researching and studying and everything, it's kind of like I'm pushing through it, but it's I read a few commentaries, the first part of them just explaining how they
View.
introduce it, and it was like, man, this is gonna take us a while to go through all this. And so I hope you enjoy it. I hope this helps you as you study God's word, and also if there's people interested in this, we post it on social media and stuff. But if you know somebody that this might help,
Sure.
share it with them, and
Yeah,
hopefully
probably.
it'll be a help to them.
There'll be some individual ones that may stick out more than others.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we've mentioned different commentaries that we like. Obviously John Phillips and Wiersbe are like perennial favorites. They're just good men for just general commentary that doesn't go ultra deep. Although when you look at Phillips, the way he can break down Scripture, it's amazing. His outlines and things.
Yeah, the one thing that he said in his that stuck out to me is we have to be just as careful at reading it as John was recording it. That was what stuck out to me. I highlighted that because when you look at, he's seeing these things, and he's the one responsible for putting it down. Like,
well,
we have to come at it like that.
The reason I was mentioning this because, if I'm looking at Revelation, I'm probably going to look at some other guys as well. A famous one for years has been Walvard. He has several books out. Lakin, he's the guy that's famous for the charts on dispensation. You'll find, if you Google his name and Revelation, you'll just see countless charts that you can look at as you go through. Some of them are very helpful. I actually have one that's Dean Nieporty printed for me years ago. I can tear them off, and it's about this big. It's pretty good. It's very good. And you've got stuff from. I've got a new book I'm reading by John Lennox. and he's looking. I'm really looking forward to this as we get toward the latter chapters, because he is tying in AI and how, what does this mean to what we're seeing. And there's some things I think
he's done some extensive research on that topic over the last 5 years.
So there's some things to look at there. So last week I sort of jokingly said homework. Dave Self was like, if you're giving me homework, you
we're not going back to school.
Better have a place for me to upload it or something.
Yeah.
So I told you to look at, let's, for some reason I left my Bible in my office. That's really good. So look at chapter 1 of Revelation, verse 7. Now, speaking of the Lord, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Why this imagery? Well, go to Daniel. Daniel chapter 7.
What verse?
Verses 13 and 14.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
All right, so this isn't just random speaking and just language that John's using. We see very detailed here. Matthew chapter 26, verse 64, we see Jesus saith unto them, Thou hast said, nevertheless, I say unto thee, he's been arrested here, hereafter ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in clouds of heaven. Very similar if you go over to Mark chapter 14, verses 61 through 64. If you go to the Gospel of John chapter 14 and verse 1, let not your heart be troubled, you believe in God, believe also in me. Any funeral, you've probably heard this. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. So this speaking, there's an expectation of Jesus Christ returning, and how he's going to return is spelled out here in this chapter. So the Jews, and John is a Jewish disciple. He's playing off this. Much of Revelation is speaking to the Jews and what's going to happen to them as a nation. And this Messianic Jew, the expectation of a ruling Messiah in Isaiah chapter 9, verses 6 and 7. I think we mentioned that last week. I'll go ahead and read that again as well.
Where is it?
Isaiah 9, 6 and 7. There's a famous, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of the government and peace shall be no end. That did not happen during the first coming, right? Upon the throne of David. That did not happen at the first coming. And upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth and forever. So this is an expectation that this will eventually occur. And, when the disciples ask in Acts chapter 1:6, is it now time? And the Lord's, no, this is not yet it. And then he ascends up into heaven, and we've been waiting for that return ever since. So Christ's return is real. Paul speaks about it in 1st and 2nd Thessalonians. Peter speaks about it in 2 Peter chapter 1, and it's going to happen. So
the second coming.
Right. So one concept that I think that's important for us to note is when the coming of Christ, both his first coming and his second coming, is sometimes things are specific moments, and sometimes they are periods. So there was a specific point when Jesus was born, his incarnation, but it was a period in which he was here. All right, so there's some difference in that. And he was here for a 33-year period. There was a point when he was born. And I think that we also see this in the second part. When he comes, there will be a very point when he returns, which we'll get to, but there will also be this period in which we're going to be talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and so we're not going to get into it as much today, but
right.
I forget who said it today, but someone said while asking Josh the question, like the second coming is not the thing in question. Like that's not the debate a lot of times, or the thing that people disagree on. It's when. And so like that point you're talking about, and then
that was in the not out from the public interrogation. That was in the
so
private.
That point that you're talking about is when is that second coming actually going to happen, and then like that period, when is that happening as well? Or
right, and we'll address those as they come along.
But is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. That's not
that
today, but I thought that was important as we start out here.
Well, I think so. When when I think about the Book of Revelation, I don't think about the seven churches. You think about the second coming.
You think chapter 4? Yeah,
and from there, and I know there's sections that we'll go into, but like that's what everyone's think that, and so we are getting to that. Obviously, that's where.
Yeah, but this is important because this leads up, and we're going to see why today.
Yeah. So why? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So one of the reasons why is this just speaking to the actual 7 churches that were there: Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. So is it just that circle of churches in Turkey that were there at that time? Yes. But I think also that it shows us there's some historical progression that occurs. There's some other things that we can look at within the church itself, which we're going to go into today.
So what are these churches?
So they're actual churches that were planted. They were in what would be modern day Turkey. Ephesus.
Around the year, like around the year.
Yeah, so we're probably right around
80,
90 AD at this point. So we did a little bit of church history. So we're past the apostles except for John. John's the only apostle alive that church history at least records.
What?
And he had been the pastor in Ephesus, so it might be just a little before 90. We mentioned, who was the emperor at the time, and as you go through these, it makes a circuit and it just makes a loop, and I don't think that's a mistake. The whole thing just is too precise to just be just haphazardly. Why did he pick churches just there? Why didn't he pick some? There were churches everywhere at that point. They weren't just all in Turkey. There were some down in near Jerusalem. There's Caesarea. Yeah. There's all these churches that Paul had planted. You could go to Colossae. You could name all these different places. But these are the ones he chose. Did he choose them because they all had this specific thing that we're going to talk about? I think he did. And he's God, so it easily could be in this progression as well.
So why is this in the Book of Revelation?
I think
why isn't it
just a separate book of
Why isn't it an epistle?
So Jesus tells John to write these letters to these churches. And this is a warning because judgment is coming. And he has this common phrase in all of these that if you have ears to hear, that and eyes to see type situation, he that hath an ear, let him hear. Is what it says on each one of these. All right. So this is just because just because the Lord may not return for another 100 years doesn't mean you don't need to heed the judgment now. Because as we talked about last week,
it changes the way you live.
Right. The Antichrist might not be coming today, but there are small antichrists, for lack of a better term, that are around today. And if you just say, well, that's not the big guy that's going to come and destroy the world, then we can just let all this fly. No, evil is evil, and we need to stand up to it. Judgment is going to come, and maybe not in the grandiose form that we're going to read about here, but it is going to come in lifetime as well. And we need to see as many folks saved while there's opportunity, and sharing the gospel. Okay. Does that answer that?
Because I wanted to set the stage for the churches, because you go into Revelation with this idea that, okay, we're talking about the second coming, we're talking about the end times, we're talking about the tribulation, this is 1,000-year reign,
in the future,
that type of stuff, and then it hits you with 7 churches, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and there's probably more reasons than that I just other people have thought of.
I the first time as a teenager, I just started reading, not knowing what I'm doing, that type of thing, and it kind of hits you like, why why am I reading this? But as we're gonna see, and you just said there's reason for it.
And we'll try to bring more of those out. Yeah.
Also, you've done a sermon series on this since Sunday morning, right?
The 7 churches I did, yeah.
So
I didn't really plan on going through the notes on each one of those.
No, that's fine. That's just another resource to go to.
Yeah, that would be like a week for each church, and I didn't plan on us doing that. But
I'm not saying to do it here. I'm saying
that would have been
an additional thing you can go and listen to.
Yeah, that would have been the summer of 2023.
Yeah, I would encourage you.
Yeah.
I was not there for whatever reason for the Ephesus one, but then if you look at my Bible for the other ones, it's like I didn't know this stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot in there.
So that's just another thing. I want to give you resources as well too. And so I
appreciate
that 7-week series was very
and you want an actual good series
for me.
You want an actual good series on it. There is one you have to pay for. This one though is David Jeremiah did a series on the 7 churches. I've not had an opportunity because I was unwilling to pay for it, but I've heard it's outstanding. So that would be a resource as well. I forget the name of it, but I'm sure you type 7 churches, David Jeremiah, it'll pop up. But you have to pay for it. That's how he supports his ministry. All right, so as we're continuing in, we have this appearance of Jesus Christ, and we stopped at verse 7. And I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. And then John talks about what he's seeing, and once again Jesus says that, and he starts to talk about what's going on here. Let's look at verses 19 and 20. So at the end of this chapter 1, it says,
It's more than I thought. It is 7 churches of Revelation. That's what it's called. Sorry.
And it's how much?
CD, $60.
Yeah, that's why I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And so
get CD.
If you have it, I'd love to hear them. Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be. This is the Lord speaking to John. He tells him, write these things, thou hast seen which are, which things shall be hereafter. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches. Now there's what is that? Are those actual angels? Some people think it's the pastors. I've had this discussion, I know, with friends of mine, but that's something for you to discuss and think about. And the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches. So we know the candlesticks, what they are. They are the churches. He just defined it right there. So we have that. And the mystery, which he just mentioned here, thou sawest, that we see him in God's hands. John's instructed by the Lord to write these things down, the things that were happening at the time, and the things that are going to be happening in the future. Specifically here in these 7 churches. And he's going to speak about that all through chapters 2 and 3. So that's what we have there. And as you look at this, you can, we'll see Jesus, he constructs these messages. As you look at each church, because we're not going to go through each one of them in great detail, but as you look at each church, it applies on somewhat 4 levels. You have a local church, an actual historical church that was there. It applies to every individual church. Now that's how we sort of preached it. We showed the historical, and then we showed how does this affect us today? What should we learn? What should we heed from this as a church? Because it was written to them, but for all churches at all times, in all places to see and to hear.
That's why it's in the Bible.
Right. Yeah. Just like anything, any instruction, what part of this applies to me? Might be nothing that applies to me. It's all just to a specific group of people. But this, I think, does. And we know this because at the end of each address to these different churches, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To the churches. It says that in verse 7, 11, 17, 26. It also applies not just to every local church, to us personally. It applies to every Christian. He that hath an ear, churches don't have ears. We do. He that hath an ear, let him hear. Because churches are made up of individuals there. We see that most Christian and church issues stem from not applying the things that we learn in the Word of God. And then it also applies to the church over time, like all of Christendom. So this is sort of prophetical. The 7 churches in the order that they plot this course of Christendom as a whole through
What is this
time.
word you're saying?
Huh?
What are you saying?
Christendom. Not heard that word? Christianity as a whole. Christendom. Move
Christendom?
on. Christendom.
Why aren't you saying the T?
You just don't.
Right. So you're talking about all Christians on the earth.
Yes. The church
I just
as
didn't know the name.
Never heard
I
that
didn't
word.
know that
No,
word.
okay.
I've heard it. I just didn't know
All right.
the use of it.
So let's look at these a little bit. When I did a study on these years ago, and the one I think Phillips uses these 3 words. I like this. He alliterates everything. The practical view, the perennial view, and the prophetical view. All right.
So practical. What
practical would be directly to that church.
are they? Perennial.
Perennial would be problems that are in general in churches as they grow, and then prophetical would be the progression through the church. So let's go through those that way. Does that work?
All right, so we're gonna go through the practical.
So yeah, this is
the practical view of all of them.
perennial, and prophetical. So
We're gonna go through the practical, all of them, then go through the perennial, through all of them, and go through that way, not one church.
yeah, I think that would be
Okay.
the best
do
way
it.
to do it. So the practical was sort of what you'll get if you listen to those sermon series, or if you already have. It's interesting. You'll see. So this is the actual. Did you hit your?
Almost broke my elbow there. That was bad.
That's funny. This is interesting. This is how. I think any of us would write if we were writing to a group of people that we knew, or we knew something about them, and obviously the Lord does. So he uses as you go through this, and you'll see an odd phrase, or a phrase that sticks out. It is typically a phrase about that city. He'll use some bit of information about that city to make a comment, almost like a word play off of that. So, Ephesus is a chief port city of Asia Minor, and they had several earthquakes that go through there. They had the river had silted up several times, and they had to clear it out. And they had shifted away from their love for God. So you can look into that one. Go ahead.
From your thing, they became mechanical. Their relationship with God went cold because it just became another thing they just did. There was no fire
Correct.
pushing it.
Right. Smyrna is a wealthy commercial city. He recognizes their faithfulness, but he also talks about their fearfulness as well. Anything you want to add to that one?
Nope.
Pergamus is this pagan city. This is an interesting one. They're known for their university, and they're sort of a medical town. This temple that they have to the god of medicine, the altar of Zeus, and it's sort of a faltering church, and he'll play off of the devices there as well. Thyatira is a military city. They are a false church with a lot of immorality in it, so he'll deal with that. Sardis, it's built on this horrible foundation physically, and it's a fruitless church, so he'll play off of that. Philadelphia speaks of a feeble church that he's encouraging. And then Laodicea is this very prosperous city, known for their bankers, known for their black wool, known for their eye ointment. So, he deals with that and their lukewarmness. So,
That's not where. Did Paul go to Laodicea?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. I'm thinking of a different thing.
Yeah. So this is those are the ones where we could go into the details on each one of these if you wanted, but I think it'd be best just to knowing what they are, go back and see what, as you're studying, what is he playing off of here, using their strength or their weakness to who they are to show a spiritual interest that they need to have. And if you have an ear to hear, you need to hear it. So that's the practical of what he's going to talk about there. And then as he goes on to the next one, this is where these are perennial problems that occur in the church. And these are issues that each church needs to deal with. And there's sort of this building. Ephesus is...
of these seven churches.
Perennial
for these...
Well, no, perennial for all churches. Yeah. So you have to...
They have not gone away, basically.
Correct. Yeah, these are issues that consistently... That's perennial means. That consistently coming up and need to be dealt with different churches. I didn't mean that sarcastically. I apologize.
I'm hurt.
So you have... let's go ahead and pull that up.
Where?
Ephesus.
You want me to read it?
Sure, go ahead.
And to the angel of the church... The whole thing?
No, just read verse 4.
Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love.
Okay, so this is a church, they're real busy. And outwardly...
Mechanical.
Yeah, they're mechanical, they're doing things... And the issue in this one is fundamentalism, where they are not fundamentalism, and they believe the word to be what the word means. So that's not the part I'm talking about. I'm talking about the...
You just do it because you know you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, almost the legalistic part of it, where we're busy, a lot of outward things, but inwardly there's a lack of love, especially for Christ. They've left their first love. That's a problem.
Yep.
And it's a problem that consistently happens. Every church can be there. A great church could do that. You could be going gangbusters, and it just becomes all about the activity and
it's a temptation.
Things,
it's not a temptation.
Things for Christ, not with Christ, or worshiping him, when letting him speak to you. So that's an issue. All right. So
it's an easy thing to fall into.
Right.
Of just.
So that's the first one he deals with.
Doing it to do it.
The next one is, and we spent some time on these when we went through, is Smyrna, and they were very ritualistic. Where he starts speaking about Judaizers again. They were Judaizing of Christianity. The synagogue of Satan, he uses that term there. And Paul, if you go, man, he speaks about this over and over and over again. Galatians is there many times, and this is, this.
Remind me of what Judaizing is.
Judaizers were the Jews.
You're bringing in the Jewish culture.
Yeah, so these Jews. Many times, I think they were probably Pharisees that. They started telling Christians that, well, if you don't follow this, and this of the Jewish law, then you can't be a proper Christian, or you're not
bringing
saved.
In the Jewish faith into the.
So you're bringing in things that hinder the gospel from being rituals. You're bringing in religion to replace the relationship there. Okay, so that's a perennial problem. It happens today. It can happen in all kinds of churches. Even here in our church, it could, if we start to, you've got to have this, and this in place. And, you got to have this before you can be saved, or this before you can follow the Lord. That can all come about. Pergamos, now this starts an interesting thing. This starts what they call clericalism. He speaks of the Nicolaitans as you go through here. It started sort of for lack of a better term, a caste system where,
of clergy?
Yeah, so there's like the clergy and the laity. You don't read that. Now go ahead.
Kind of like what Catholicism does. Like there's the Pope, then there's the
but it's in the cardinals and all that kind of stuff. But it's even that in other churches as well. You can even see it in where we are in Baptist churches where
it's the pastor and then the rest of the people.
Yeah, like you're on a different level than.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, we're given positions. There's deacons and there's pastors and
But they're not a different level. They're just given a different responsibility.
They've just got different roles.
Yeah.
But you see how quickly you can separate that.
Yeah, it's the three things that I've said it a billion times. The three things that you have to protect yourself from as a pastor. I've said that a few times on here as well. And one of those is power, and having that go to your head and thinking that you are above other people.
Right.
When no, I got it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's, he tells double honor and that kind of thing, but we're all we're just
a human being.
Christians saved by grace and serving the Lord with where He's called us, where our ministry is. Our ministry, happens to be a full-time opportunity to serve the Lord. There's pastors that are out there that are working, 40 hours a week at another job, and then being a pastor as well to a congregation that couldn't afford to have him on staff. There's no difference there.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there is Thyatira, references Jezebel, and it speaks back to basically idol worship that comes in there.
Yeah, verse 20 it talks about idols.
Where you start this is, once again, you start praying to, just be blunt. I mean, you start praying to saints, and you start praying to Mary, and you start praying to, the Greek Orthodox Church will say that, we don't have statues. Well, okay, they have paintings everywhere. Okay, it's the same thing, and
it's directing your prayers to anything but
the Lord.
The Lord, yeah.
You're breaking.
No matter what figure or form that comes in, it's still not
That's a direct violation
Yeah.
of God's command to do that. He warns it in multiple ways throughout the Old Testament and in the New Testament as well. Then we get to Sardis, and so you might be saying number 4 could never happen. Yes, it does. It happens everywhere. If you go, it happens in the United States. It happens in other countries where you'll see, if you were to go down into Brazil, you'll see where mysticism has been married with the church. If you go down into Haiti, you will see how voodoo has been married with the church. And many times the church has, church in a generic term, has to gain power in an area, they'll adopt the things that are going on in that area, and sacerdotalism happens, and it's not right, and that's why he's warning. Number 5, the 5th church there is Sardis. Great reputation. They're active. They're successful. They're dead. Absolutely dead. They've just become completely liberal. There's no, just because they're active, just because they're doing things. This is different than Ephesus. They've left their first love. They're fundamental on the word. Now we have a church that's just liberal. You can have great reputation.
What do you mean by liberal?
Where you've compromised doctrine. You're about doing all kinds of great things. All right.
At what extent?
Right. We have denominations today in the United States that are doing all kinds of social things, but it's not about Jesus Christ, and the doctrine has been so watered down that you might as well just be helping the Red Cross.
Yeah. It's at the expense of what actually matters.
Correct. Yeah. And then Philadelphia is this turn, and
where Rocky grew up.
Huh? It took me a second.
Sorry.
Thank you. That was terrible. Revival happens in this one. So this is, and he really speaks nothing but good to them. And then he comes to the 7th church and speaks nothing good. This is a church. They've not become
Laodicea.
Yeah, they've not become liberal. They've become materialistic.
Talks a lot about the riches and the gold and all this nice clothing, and where is it going to go?
So where maybe liberalism wasn't allowed to leak into, say, a Baptist church, where we hold doctrine to be so sound, materialism, that can. And all of these could, but that's where I see the big, where that one comes into being. And your spiritual influence, you think you're doing more because you've got all this, you've got all this land and buildings and all the newest games and toys that every person can play with and be part of, but your spiritual influence is actually decreasing because of that. So
when you did it, I guess you did more practical when you.
Right.
But
we talked about that a little bit.
Looking at these as a whole, kind of similar to what we did last year with the Bible. You see the bigger themes, and you can see it in the world. Like the perennial things, when we just went over that, I saw, like, I can think of examples in my head of where I've seen that.
Yeah, they are perennial because you can see all 7 of those
I could name
happening.
a situation or whatever where that's happening.
So let's stop there since and next week we'll do the prophetical, and then we'll sweep into some other things.
Whet the appetite.
Yes. I like that.
All right. If a pumpkin has a hole in it, how do you repair it? This is Keith Corman.
Keith Corman, huh?
Yep.
How?
With a pumpkin patch.
Well done, Keith.
Yes, it was good.
That was good.
He told me, and it actually made me laugh. I was like, that's
good.
a good one.
All right.
He was tickled over it too.
That's fun. All right. Well, thanks for being part of this. I hope this is whetting your appetite, and we got to some things there today. Thanks to our buddy Braxton for stopping by, and you guys have a great week. Love you guys. Bye.